It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. A winter storm's going to shift across New England and into the Canadian Maritimes with gusty to high winds, heavy coastal rain, hazardous seas, and heavy snow downwind of the eastern Great Lakes and over the mountains. Another two fronts are moving over the northwestern U.S. through midweek. They're bringing gusty winds, heavy low-elevation rain, and heavy mountain snow. Closer to home, partly cloudy skies with generally light winds and high temperatures running a little above average today. Tomorrow and Wednesday, breezy to windy conditions in the afternoons. On Thursday into the weekend, we're going to see a chance for lowland rain and mountain snow showers. High temperatures after Wednesday will run a few degrees below average. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. The Alamogordo City Commission regular meeting takes place tomorrow evening at 6:30 at City Hall. A few things on the agenda include consider and act upon Ordinance 1686 for adoption and final publication to add Article 1108, Section 0810 through 0840 to Chapter 11 Criminal Code concerning peddler and solicitor regulations. An ordinance adding Article 1107 Alcoholic Beverage Regulations to Chapter 11 Criminal Code of the Alamogordo Code of Ordinances. Consider and act upon Bid Award IFB 2024-01 to AgTech for an estimated amount of $84,600 for the purchase of concrete to be utilized by various departments. Consider and act upon Resolution 2024-19 requesting written approval from the Local Government Division of the Department of Finance and Administration, State of New Mexico, for the revised budget numbers computed as of March 12th. And this one here kind of jumped out at me because this is an issue that we are strongly behind. Mary Martinez White of the Tularosa Basin Downwinders Consortium requests the City of Alamogordo to pass a proclamation or city resolution to support the inclusion of New Mexico in the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. As a libertarian, traditionally I am against these government handouts. However, in this case, the government is already giving money out to people affected by radiation sickness, but they're excluding people right here, and that's wrong. The New Mexico Department of Health announced that a Lincoln County man has died of plague after being hospitalized for that disease. The last human plague case in the state was a Torrance County resident back in 2021. In 2020, there were 4 human plague cases, 1 in Santa Fe County, 2 in Torrance, and 1 fatal case in Rio Arriba. The plague is a bacterial disease carried by rodents and generally spread to humans through the bites of infected fleas. It can also spread by direct contact with infected animals. This includes rodents, wildlife, and pets. The City of Alamogordo states that the St. Paddy's Day Bash scheduled for this Saturday has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. No other details have been released. Well, today is Monday. Time for a pup date from Animal Village NM.
Hi, this is Sunny Harris with Animal Village NM. Low-cost spay-neuter, rescue transport, and pet food bank. And up here in Ruidoso, thank you, Spirit. Here in Ruidoso, we are celebrating spring, watching green shoots come up through the snow. And in spring, it's a wonderful, wonderful time to connect with your pet. All of us love a kitten. Kittens are funny and crazy, and the best part is to watch them unfold into their real personalities. Who will they be as adults? How will they express their love to you? Because every cat expresses their love in his own unique way. I had a kitty who gave me back rubs and slept with her cheek on my cheek. I have another kitty who would never like to do that, but he likes to sit in my lap and purr and knead. You've got to find the way that your cat expresses his or her love and build on that. And the best way to be able to do that and build a legacy of love for your family is to build a catio. Allow your cat to experience the outdoors safely by going through a window into a safely enclosed catio, avoiding the dangers of predators, cars, illnesses, fights with other cats, and the average lifespan of an outdoor cat is 1 to 3 years, while the average lifespan of an indoor cat is up to 17 or 18 years. So investing in the health and the safety and the love of your cat is a super idea. And you can build a catio for about $50 and make it a family project. That is a legacy of love. With puppies, oh sure, they're funny, they're a lot of work, there's a lot of training, and that blossoms into the personality of your dog. After puppyhood, you know who your dog really is, which has a lot to do with how you raise your dog. Spirit, my spirit animal, Mountain Spirit, was 3 years old when we found him on the res, rescuing 15 other dogs, and it took 31 days to trap him and rescue him, and then months to heal him, and 6 months before he would allow me to touch him. Today, he is almost a fully certified service dog. I invested in learning what Spirit liked to do, and I loved every minute of finding out how he loves me. Today, we started our morning with a yoga class. That's his favorite thing. I say yoga, and he gets all excited and runs to the door. Find the love in your pet. Keep them indoors as family pets.
Special thanks to Animal Village NM for bringing us those very helpful tips. Remember to support Animal Village NM by visiting animalvillagenm.com. News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.com. Local sports, local events, and local happenings, and more. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.com. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Chaves County deputies say they found the body of a homicide suspect last week. Under Sheriff Charles Eastless with the Chaves County Sheriff's Office spoke with KOB.
The Sheriff's Office received a phone call from a rancher in reference to an individual that he believed to be deceased. He originally didn't know whether or not the individual was sleeping or deceased.
Officials say they found the body of 34-year-old Matthew Villarreal on Monday afternoon. He'd been missing since February.
Based on the family's descriptions, based on the descriptions that were provided from the missing persons report that had been filed by his mother on February 27th through the Roswell Police Department, as well as identifiers there at the scene, it was determined that he was, in fact, Matthew Villarreal.
This all started back in August. Villarreal was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in a drive-by shooting which killed Christopher Herrera. Villarreal was out on conditions of release. Very few details on how the body of Villarreal was located, but it's being investigated as a homicide. The Sheriff's Office is requesting anyone with any information to please give them a call. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham pocket vetoed 2 bills despite the high rate of approval, meaning she allowed the deadline to pass without signing them. Senate Bill 129 aimed at enhancing the implementation and reporting of cybersecurity procedures within government agencies. Why she wouldn't want that to pass? Anybody's guess. Senate Bill 175 sought to establish a fund for law enforcement recruitment. Wonder why? Now, in her defense, the governor did allocate $25 million through the state budget for law enforcement and correctional officer recruitment. Free college for generations of New Mexicans looks to be guaranteed as it's taken directly from our wallets and purses. Ain't that nice of us? Nearly $1 billion in taxpayer money is what the government signed into law. With the Lottery Scholarship and the Opportunity Scholarship, New Mexico has been investing in providing tuition to New Mexicans for years. But what does this actually mean for New Mexico students?
A lot of the times in New Mexico, we have a very negative story when it comes to education, but we're moving in a positive direction in this administration.
Stephanie Rodriguez, Secretary for the New Mexico Higher Education Department, speaking with KRQE.
The governor signed the New Mexico Higher Education Trust Fund. It is the largest higher education trust fund for tuition-free college in the nation. New Mexico students will find more money set aside for tuition assistance from the state. The governor said New Mexico is the first state to invest heavily in education. A whopping $32.4 billion has been earmarked for early childhood and higher education. The New Mexico Department of Education
has sent out its 180-day calendar rules with revisions. Schools will begin using this calendar in the fall, and 4-day weeks are still allowed. Also, early college high schools are exempt. But the big question is, will the 180-day mandate help New Mexico get off the bottom? Me? I'm going to say no. What difference does it make if the kids go 180 days or 360 days if nothing else changes? Kids need to have a reason to remain engaged. And teachers need incentives to push harder. Why would a teacher work harder right now if he or she gets paid the same anyway? That's my 2 cents worth. But am I alone in this thinking? Well, no, not necessarily. I reached out to a few teachers over the weekend and was told no time and time again, albeit with different reasons. The voices you're about to hear are computer-generated and not the voices of those who responded. This was done in order to protect the identities of these instructors.
There are too many variables when it comes to student performance. More classroom time won't make a difference. Many schools in NM are part of K-12+, and they have 188 student days.
A number of our educators were sent to the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta. I personally think that will make a difference.
They just need to mandate a balanced calendar and be done with it.
They continue to say teachers are getting raises when in fact we are working more, either longer school days or school years. Throwing more money and time is not the answer.
It really comes down to whether or not teachers are being allowed to use that time effectively, or if it's going to be more of pulling the kids out of class for this, that, or the other thing. For example, I will be missing a large part of my classes this week due to basketball. And the coaches don't make the kids work while in the hotels or on the road, so essentially I lose a week of instructional time.
I also reached out to the Alamogordo Public School Board President Angie Cadwallader. She says she's going to get back to me with comment after she speaks with a few teachers herself. Maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon, but to me these so-called fixes to New Mexico education, well, they feel more like lip service than solutions. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There is one game for New Mexico softball today. That's Highland at Moriarty. 4 games for New Mexico baseball, including Kermit at Jowl. Tularosa defeated McCurdy 60-49 in the 2A first round, and they move forward. The Wildcats are advancing to the 2A quarterfinals and face Texaco 8 a.m. on Wednesday at the Rio Rancho Event Center. In girls basketball, number 4 Tularosa defeated number 13 Eunice 55-33. So the Lady Cats advance to the quarterfinals, and they're going to face number 5 Manal. That game takes place tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the Rio Rancho Event Center. In track and field, Tularosa boys and girls both finished 5th place at Saturday's Bulldog Relays in Artesia. State qualifiers, Kaylee Bigas, the 1600, Olivia Young, discus and shot put, and Seth Kazi, discus and javelin. Both teams will compete at the Rollabuck White Sands Invitational in Alamogordo. That's on March 23rd. Your Crazy Radio spot on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, partly cloudy tonight, sunny tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 67, low tonight of 44, high tomorrow, 71 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, winds gusting as high as 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, winds gusting as high as 22. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 28. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 46. Low tonight of 33. High tomorrow, 48 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. Well, that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.